Hello everyone, my name is Relax and Panic and this is another reaction for Steins Gate. It is episode 21 and you know what to do. As always, if you want to see the reaction itself, go down into my description. You will find a link, replace the circumflex.parts with real dots and enjoy the reaction. Once you've done, feel free to come back here to hear my thoughts about this episode. So, I will see you soon. For those that came back, welcome back. Now, there was a more relaxed episode, one with less direct action, but it's okay because it's slowly building to the finale now. The last episode clearly gave us a clue where this is leading to. The so-called beta world line, which brings me to one of my first questions. Why is the original timeline called Beta World Line and the new one, the one created after the first D-mail, Alpha? I don't really see the reasons. I mean, it doesn't make sense just by logic for me. Shouldn't the Beta be the Alpha one instead? So if you have a clue why it is that way, please tell me. Unless that's a spoiler, but I think it's not. So that's one thing. This was very much building up this episode, the feelings of Mayuri, a bit about their relationship, which I really liked. The little pull back in time to their time together, and I think it very clearly points out that something will happen in the meaning of that Marquis Kurisu will do something, as I already said. So, the one thing that is not clear for me is why they are not using the IBN right now. They have the IBN now. In the last episode, they got the IBN, and then he realized that he has to do another time jump, another D-mail to be more exact, undoing, and by this killing Kurisu. But shouldn't there be like at least the option to hack into CERN with the IBM and remove the data completely, and due to that maybe undo everything? I guess it will be possibly too late, just guessing. So they're not using the IBN at all right now, so I'm not sure. He spent his whole day together with Mayushi, which I really liked, went with her to this comic convention, and she had quite a good time while he was standing around being grumpy and depressed, which I can completely understand. I mean, right now there seems to be no solution for the problem. She is definitely aware of this, as we learn later on. The fact that he seems depressed, is not talking very much. I mean, it's not since days, because he jumps back in time every time again. It will be only for a very short amount of time. But his, let's call it depression, is so deep by now because he's doing this since weeks possibly. Trying to rescue her. You have to remember that they were quite ahead a bit of time, and he D-mailed back again and again and again every time. He did it multiple times for possibly each of the D-mail undoings as well. So he spent some weeks in this state already, in the state of knowing that Mayushi is dying, and he is just trying to undo it. And if you remember the time when he decided to do it like that, it was not that he knows that he will be undoing it. It is a try, something he will try to do, and hoping that it works. We still don't know if it will. It might very well be it's not helping. I mean, I give it by now quite a good chance that it will work, but then he has to face other consequences. In this case, Kurisu's dead. So he spent the day with her and even tried to lighten her mood. So he, in this episode in general, tries to jump back into the mad scientist from time to time to lighten her up, play the role. I'm kind of surprised she didn't see through that a bit more, but it's okay. And he, when she was about to be driven over or shot, He even threw himself in front of a car trying to like end it, this circle of her death by killing himself, and even that is not allowed. So she pushes him away and then dies in his arm. And yes, there was a sad scene again, as you could possibly see at my expression. This wording, I was finally helpful to you, that really shook me. That's a mean one. I mean, it tells us that she really thinks she is not helpful to him in like every other time. And I mean, no one should think of himself something like that. So someone as quirky, as funny, as living as she is, should not think that. Because in my opinion, and I hope you agree there, she was helpful to him like over years, I guess, because he is this social, awkward loner, and she is the complete opposite. And in many ways, I'm sure she enriched his life. She gave him friendship, she gave him something like a little sister in the end, it is. So she was helpful for him all over the time. So it's strange that she isn't aware of that. He is even deeper in the dumps right now. He even tried to destroy the phone, which would be stupid, because then he would have completely given up. But I can understand it, because he's completely frustrated, because everything he tries, he can't find a solution now. He finally, and that's a good thing, told Kurisu about what's going on. Told Marquise Kurisu about the fact that the first D-mail ever is the one that saved her life. The one thing that he didn't do yet, and I discussed it the last time, he did not talk to Mayuri about it. Because although I completely agree he should save her, she should know about that. She's not a scientist. She can't help him with the scientific approach. But it is her life, that's the one thing. And she can... I'm not sure if she can lighten his mood, but sharing it with her possibly can give, like, some help. We don't know. It might be that there is more to it and to her. Yeah. She even told him on the phone, "Tell me if I am a burden to you ever." So the fact that he is having so much problems is something she realizes, and she copies, she reflects it on her. She thinks it's her fault, which in a way it is, because it is her death that stresses her out. But it's not her being around. It is the fact that she will no longer be around. And by not telling her this, he is right now risking to lose her in a different way. Because she might be running away or whatever she will do. There was a short moment in this episode where she was gone from the comic convention. And I was thinking that she had like run away, but instead she went to the grave of her grandmother. So, and there it is one thing, there were many interesting things there. So she does remember her death from all the other timelines. She remembers being shot, being driven over, and whatever. And she remembers that he is trying to save her, and so we had this with all of the other D-mates, that they could remember the alternate timelines. Which is interesting. Because it means that it is not only him who can keep memories, but he can keep all memories and very clearly, while the others have it more like a déjà vu effect, something like that. So she remembers, and she then clearly states that she cannot read him anymore, and that's a sad thing, because as we've seen in this pulling back in time, jumping back to the past when they were first together in the lab, they spent a lot of time together. 2 hours a day is a lot of time over years. So they were like brother and sister in so many ways. And they didn't talk a lot. They just sat there and they spent time together, but it helps you to understand someone else by spending so much time. So right now they are moving away from each other due to the problems that exist, and I hope they will get over that. However, I still think he should tell her. They mentioned the Oopa again. I still wait for that one to be important. I mean, the Metall Oopa, there has to be. You know, it will be the solution. That's it. Episode 24, everything is solved by a Metall Oopa. I have no idea how, but that's my theory. The Metall Oopa will rescue the universe. And we ended off with Kurisu, Marquise Kurisu, being at the place where she was stabbed in the original, where she was lying in blood. Now, I'm pretty sure he didn't tell her where she was stabbed exactly. So I guess she has some kind of deja vu memories from the alternate timeline as well. So she knows this. And this is where it gets interesting. Because, as I said before, we have a clear, more and more developing romance or feelings of love between Ocarina and Marquise Kurisu, which was again and again stopped by the fact that he demailed and time traveled, so he could only remember, but she couldn't. Now that we see that the people remember deja vu like stuff from other timelines, I think it might be very possible that the feelings still go over to the other timelines. Not completely, but like that she still has like small memories, background memories, that there is more between them. And she clearly likes him. She clearly helps him with more than normal people would do. And she is very intelligent, so she completely realizes in how much pain he is about the death of his sister in the end, of Mayushi. I really guess that she will undo the demail herself. I mean, his phone is not far away. She can grab it, or he forgets it in a moment, whatever, or she will find another solution. In the end, the message has to go to Daru, and she knows it because he told her that it will have to go to Daru. That he sent Daru a message about that. So this is the first demail. And undoing it will mean sending a message to Daru, I guess. So with this knowledge alone, and she has access to the computer, to the machine, I guess she will undo the demail, which means she will accept her own death to rescue the soul, the feelings, and the person that Ocarina is, and to rescue Mayushi as well, you know. So you know, the ultimate sacrifice of love in this case, possibly. Which is my guess. The only question is if the series ends there. It would be a very sad ending, but it would in so many ways be a fitting ending, because it would be like we've come full circle. We would close the series exactly where we started, and then the only question would be, what do you do now, Ocarina? Do you keep the time machine? Do you destroy it? Because you've seen the effects it has, and it is not really controllable. It would be better. Or, because we still have 3 more episodes in general, it could be that this is happening the next episode, and Ocarina, the last 2 episodes, are finding a solution to rescue her without risking the life of Mayushi. Which might work. If it is undone, he can hack CERN and then do one more jump or whatever to rescue her. Although it is risky. I see those both options. Maybe I'm wrong and she is not undoing it. Maybe. But I think this is where we're going for. Well, that's it for this time. It was, as I said, it was a build-up episode, but it was a very nice one. It gave a bit of background and options to speculate. And I will see you again next week for episode 22, which I really look forward to. Until then, please feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. My name is Relax and Panic. Goodbye and out.